And we are back at Coach's Corner West on WQEL Facebook. Our show brought to you in part tonight by Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Kia, just a mile east of the Richland Mall. Also Coach Tim Plumley at Mohegan Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Doug Ludo, Advanced Fiber Technology. Rob Lust at Edgefield Animal Clinic in Marion. Matt Ramsey, John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Heinlein, and everybody at Bucyrus Blades, serving worldwide markets from Bucyrus since 1951. And Roger Brown at Winks Lock and Safe, South Poplar Street at Westmore. David Miller is sitting in for Gabe Helber tonight, and Coach lost a heartbreaker to Mohawk 14-10. They drove the length of the field and scored with about 5 or 6 seconds left. I mean, probably took the wind right out of your sails.
Yeah, definitely. You know, just a couple unfortunate series of events there that led to the end, to the last 2 or 3 minutes of that game, the way it played out. Credit to Mohawk.
Penalties or?
Yeah, there were some penalties involved and yeah, some other things like that. And credit to Mohawk for persevering and making the plays they had to do to win the game.
Now, I understand that the offensive statistics were pretty close.
Yeah, I would say
the score
so.
was.
Yeah, it was a relatively low-scoring game. So, you know, neither offense was exactly setting the world on fire. And that's just the way some games unfold. Other games, a little bit more of a shootout situation, and this one was more of a defensive struggle. Thought both defenses played well throughout the...
Were you expecting that? Because I'll be honest with you, I wasn't. I was expecting, if somebody had asked me that game, I wouldn't say who was going to win, but I was expecting 42-35.
Sure. You know, I think Mohawk has done a nice job with their defense for a number of years now. And so, yeah, I mean, anytime you look at our scores with them over the years, we typically don't score, you know, 30, 40, 50 points against Mohawk. So they typically do a nice job. And, yeah, just the way the game played out and came out on the short end of the stick.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add about that ball game?
No.
Okay. We want to talk about your playoff game coming up this Saturday evening. We're going to do that in just a few minutes. We've got players around the table here, and we're going to talk to these young men a little bit about their game, not only on Friday, but the season in general, and the playoff game coming up on this Saturday night. We got around the table Brian Crabtree, who is a senior linebacker and running back, Cobey Allen, who is the quarterback, Kendall Blair, a running back and defensive lineman, and also Trent Green, who is also a kicker and a punter, and has had a pretty good season this year. And we're going to talk to these guys here in just one moment. Our show brought to you by Lee Plymel and Brad Seibert at the Plymel Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Galleon. Also, Hannah Newton at Wendy's, downtown Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky. North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, Bucyrus. Vince Ponziani and everybody at Waycraft Industries. Rod Steiger and everybody at Pizza Hut. Bucyrus and Galleon, the host of our show since 1992. And the Burkhardt family at Burkhardt Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Manette, New Winchester Road. As I mentioned, we've got some Wynford Royals around the table here. Brian Crabtree, a senior linebacker, running back. Brian, I know this is not exactly the season you had planned, yet still Wynford did persevere to the point where you folks are going back to the playoffs, and that has been pretty much a regular thing that goes on at Wynford.
Yeah.
So, is that a consolation for you at all?
Yes and no.
Okay, explain yes. Why is it a consolation?
I know we have the potential to go far in the playoffs. It just depends on how our team wants to play and how much we want it. And I feel like we could be a really good team in a decent playoff run if we would put in the effort and try.
All right, so it's got to be a mental as well as physical effort.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm not breaking any news to you guys. You played these guys game week number 1. They pretty much handed you your lunch. Now, that being said, I'm not trying to be a smart like journalist here, but how do we go about taking care of business on a team that beat us 10 weeks ago, 48-16?
Well, we played them obviously, like you said, the first week of the season, and then we also played them second round of the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm. They beat you twice.
Yes, sir, they did, and I feel like that's going to give us a bigger jump on the game that we have coming Saturday, because we know their plays, not necessarily their plays, but how they like to run the ball, how they like to pass the ball, their best players, all that kind of stuff. We have a feeling of what they're going to do.
Let me ask you a quick question here. Are you better off being on the field practicing? Or are you better off being watching the film?
I feel like it's about 50-50 for some of the team. Most of us, we need to learn their plays, watch film, study them, stuff like that. And then we also need to have on-field time, like practicing what they like to do as stunt-wise.
All right. So you kind of know what they're all about. You are not throwing in the towel.
No.
All right. Very good, young man. I appreciate you stopping by. You got Cobey Allen, quarterback. Cobey has had a nice year on the field. I know that probably you traded some of those stats for some more W's, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So talk to me a little about this year. You went and you got quite a bit of playing time last year due to an injury to your quarterback, and you stepped up and had a pretty good season. Did last year help you move into this year at all?
I played wide receiver last year.
But didn't you play any quarterback at all? I thought you played a little.
I was a backup.
You were a backup, but I thought you got in a few games. But, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Just
Yeah.
handing the ball off and stuff.
Okay, all right. So talk to me a little bit about the transition into a full-time quarterback this year. What did you do over the summer to kind of get ready for that?
Just went in the weight room. Otsego film was obviously up since the last playoff game last year. We lost to them. So I knew what I had to work on going into week one and everything like that.
What did you have to work on?
Getting the ball out on time. I got good DBs, good linebackers.
All right. So your release time needed to be adjusted? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
All right. Talk to me a little bit about Otsego. I mean, I know you guys got a great deal of respect. Why shouldn't you? They beat you the last couple of times. But the fact that they have beaten you the last couple of times, oh my God, here we go. We got Otsego again. That's no reason to throw in the towel, is it?
No, I believe in my team. We played with them the first half. What was it? 21 to 16 at halftime. We were up at one point. So I feel like if we play like we did the first half, we'll be fine.
All right, so you just got to put 4 quarters together, is what you're saying. All right, buddy, good luck this Saturday night. If you pass the microphone down to Kendall Blair, who's a running back and a D-line and actually has caught a few passes as well. And Kendall, talk to me about the same scenario. You got a very good football team. You know them, you've seen them, you've played against them. What do you got to do to beat them, buddy?
Honestly, I feel like we just need to come out and play all 4 quarters how we played this week 1. And I feel like maybe take a different angle at the game and kind of look at different things we can do on our offense.
Well, not giving anything away.
Well, yeah, but different things.
I'm not asking you to give anything away.
Yeah, I'm not giving anything away.
But
I'm saying
at the
different
same
things.
time, how do we go about doing that?
Just have
Is it a mental thing or a physical thing or a combination of both?
I feel like our team has everything physically. I feel like we've all played we have a lot of older guys, so we've played a bunch of football.
All right.
So I feel like we have a lot of things that we can physically do, and I know everybody on our team can do their job at 100%. It's just if they want to do it every snap
Okay.
and do it over and over again. until
Now,
the game.
when I'm listening to you, I make an assumption. Tell me if I'm wrong. That this is more a mental thing than it is a
Yes.
physical thing.
Yes,
So you
if
gotta
we
do
come
this.
out and we play all 4 quarters hard, mentally we will be okay.
Okay, all right, good for you. And Trent Green down at the end there, we talked to Trent before, kicker, punter. You've had a pretty nice season, Trent. Some guys have scored some touchdowns. You've had the opportunity to get out there in the field and show the leg. And, are you looking forward to maybe getting a few opportunities to do that this Saturday night?
Definitely anything I can do to help the team and put points on the board when I can and finish drives with the offense.
You had some field goals this year too, didn't you?
Yes, I have.
All right. What was your long?
Just the longest was actually week 1 versus Otsego. I hit a 32-yarder, I'm pretty sure.
All right. All right, so you're not afraid, if we get inside the 35-yard line, let me go out there, right?
Yeah.
All right. You concur with the concept of the mental and physical aspects that your colleagues here have talked about?
Yeah, as a kicker, I mean, there's not much I really do, but I think if we all come out with the right mindset and work during the week, we'll put up a fight.
All right, good job for you, buddy. We're going to be back. We're going to talk with Coach Miller here in just a moment about Otsego, and that comes up in just one moment. Our show brought to you on WQEL Facebook by, get that last page out here, the Light Freely and Todd McDougal at Freely and Company Insurance in New Washington. Ted Coder, Monarch Body Shop from Dutchtown, the Ohio State University of Marion, a Big Ten education close to home. Mike Klein at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, Marion. Dr. Thomas M. Britton at Clubview Vision Center. Luann Krebs, Rivers Edge Embroidery, Screen Printing, Signs, the official foam board t-shirt provider, Route 309, right across from the Marion Depot. And going back to Coach Miller, and Coach, correct me if I'm wrong here. I think your young men here have a lot of confidence in their physical and more than they do their mental. They seem, I got to get my head screwed on straight.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Sometimes it's tough for young kids to put 48 minutes of football together from a mental aspect. We ask our kids to do a lot of things offensively and defensively, and I think these guys are hit the nail on the head in saying that if we can find a way to put 48 minutes of football together, we feel like we pretty good football team with an opportunity to compete with a lot of good teams.
I sit there, and if I were Otsego right now, and I'm not, but if I were Otsego, I'd be worried a little bit about complacency from the standpoint that these guys, they won the game last year, or they won the first game this year. They've dominated, at least on the paper, and score. And I would head coach, I'd be guarding a little bit against complacency.
Yeah, definitely.
Am I out of line?
No, not at all. Again, it's kind of going back to those young kids thing. It's just the way youth works. I think all kids are the same. So yeah, as a coach, I'm sure they're focused on getting their team prepared, and they're just as nervous as any of us are trying to get their team ready to play and be successful on any given night.
Your passing game kind of rose to the top a little bit more than the running game. I know you like. When I talked to Coach Helbert, he says, well, we like to take what they give us, but we'd like to be 50-50. But when I look at the stats, you guys were much more successful with Cobey throwing the football. He had almost 1,800 yards through the air, 58% completion record, 21 touchdowns. And look at all the guys. Filliator, Whitmire, Schiffer, Blair, Avery Langdorfer, Caden Blair, Daniel Couric, Micah Karcher. You had a lot of guys to go to.
We do. We're very blessed from that standpoint, from a skill standpoint. We got a quarterback who can really make some really nice throws all over the field at any point in time. And just try to play to the strengths of our team.
All right. Otsego's a long trip, isn't it?
It is.
Where are they? Somewhere around the upper peninsula of Michigan.
Yeah, that's right. It feels like it. It's just a little bit northwest of Bowling Green. I would say about 10 minutes outside of Bowling Green.
All right. Well, that's pretty close to 2 hours.
It's all probably an hour and a half, give or take a little more probably.
Gentlemen, good luck this Saturday night.
Hey, thank you.
Tell some of your people at Wynford, I know they've got cell phones. They need to call us and give us the score, although we're not going to be on phone board that night because there's this other football team called Ohio State.
Yeah, who are they?
Yeah. And they demand that since we signed a contract that we have them on 92.7, we'd actually call them and tell them, we wanted to drop them for Wynford.
They didn't want to hear it.
They didn't want to hear it. Yeah, they didn't want to hear it. So you signed the contract. So, but nevertheless, tell them to call us and let us know what's going on.
That sounds good.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. We got Buckeye Central Volleyball coming up. Details in just one moment on WQEL Facebook.